What is going on, guys? It's David from AquaOtter, and welcome back to another One Piece chapter review. This week we're talking about chapter 1013, Anarchy in the BM, or Big Mom. I already know, starting straight off, it's going to be a good chapter because Anarchy in the BM, it's a play on words for Anarchy in the UK. We know that this is going to be a kid chapter, so I'm kind of hyped for it. But yeah, so the cover page is Sanji. He's looking at a shark, dreaming of cooking it up. It's a shark that's using the three-sword style, and we got Zoro sleeping in the background, playing off of, Sanji and Zoro's rivalry. We've talked about this before, how much I enjoy their rivalry. But let's get into it because I am excited to talk about what Kid does in this chapter. So we start off, we're right back where we ended at the last chapter, where, Nami is facing down against Ulti, and, Usopp is, yelling out, hey, what are you thinking? We gotta go. If she gets up again, we're done for. And Big Mom's, right behind us. There's no way that we can expect to win in this situation. And, Usopp is, still carrying Tama, and he's saying, listen, Tama, hang in there, it looks really vicious, you're really injured, but, just hang in there. And Nami's, huffing and puffing, and she's just saying, listen, if we run away, she's just gonna chase after us, either way, but, the main thing is that she deserves what's coming to her, I'm gonna stand my ground, and, we're gonna fight. And Big Mom is, yelling out, Otama, are you still alive? And in the meantime, Nami and Ulti, this fight actually, I'm kind of excited for this actually because the fight sort of takes place. I mean, we'll see what happens. It gets a little worse later on, but for right now, this little bit of the fight, it's super awesome because Nami starts twirling her baton, her climb attack, right? And Ulti's getting up to her feet, and she's saying so you finally decided to stay and fight, no more running away. And all the Beast Pirates are laughing and being look at that girl over there just twirling her baton, you're gonna fight Lady Ulti with cheerleading moves. And meanwhile, Nami's just completely stone faced. She's just twirling her baton around, and Ulti, she just winces, and Nami breaks out tornado tempo, which is awesome because we've so far in Wano we've seen I believe 2 callbacks to major Nami fights, which I do have theories about, but we'll talk about it when we get to the end of this. I have a lot that I want to say about this Nami Ulti fight, but the first was at the beginning of this Nami Ulti fight, you could call it. She broke out the Thunderlance tempo, which we haven't seen since her fight with Khalifa back in Eni's lobby. And the last time that we actually have seen Tornado Tempo was even further back, all the way back in Alabasta during her fight with Miss Doublefinger. So Nami busts out the Tornado Tempo. It looks really, really awesome. No party tricks this time. It is an actual, she summons a tornado and blasts it at Ulti. It's almost like a concentrated beam with the wind gusts kind of circling out from it that bust into Ulti. And unfortunately, it doesn't work too well because Ulti ends up in her hybrid form just latching onto Nami, and she says there, you can't get away now. You understand what happens next, right? I can finally pulverize your skull. And Nami looks really scared. Usopp's yelling out for her, but before the attack can actually hit, Big Mom ends up intervening. And so she starts calling out to all of her homies. She calls out Napoleon, and he goes, here, mama. Prometheus, here, mama. And then she calls out for Hera, and we actually get the reveal of what Hera looks like. And unfortunately, I think it would have been cooler if she was just a being of concentrated electricity, but it's just another thundercloud. But yeah, she calls out for Hera. We get the reveal of what Hera actually looks like, and, she calls out, Hera, yes, mama, and then she combines all 3 of her homies. And Ulti is taken aback by this, and Big Mom hits her with a combined homie attack called Mazer Cannon, where it's she points out Napoleon, the sword is out, and then Hera and Prometheus kind of combine around the blade, and they shoot just this concentrated cannon just right at Ulti. It goes right through her, and I believe, I may be wrong about this, but I believe that Mazer Cannon is a reference to the Godzilla movies, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But regardless, it's a pretty devastating attack. But yes, so Ulti gets hit by this, and then just to drive home how devastating this attack is, we actually get we get a full 3 panels dedicated to this attack. We get a complete page and a half panel of the actual attack, the Mazer Cannon attack, and then we get 2 panels of the Beast Pirates just kind of reacting to the attack. And then after the attack is done, the homies, they're all celebrating. And Prometheus is like, oh, yes, we did it, mama. The attack hit. And Hera's laughing. And all the Beast Pirates are like, yo, Big Mom, like, she just blasted Lady Ulti. And Big Mom, Mother Mode's still kind of active here, but also, once again, like, there's a lot of stuff that when I'm done this portion of the chapter, like, we need to actually talk about, but we'll get to it. This is pretty much, we stay here for pretty much the entire chapter. There's going to be a lot of review portion at the end of this. But so, Big Mom basically says, like, that's what you get for hurting Tama, and, all the Beast Pirates are like, hey, weren't we supposed to be in an alliance with her? Like, what's going on here? And Usopp's still freaking out. It's like, listen, this is crazy, but at least we're alive. Like, come on, Nami, let's go. Nami, he grabs Nami. They start running off. Tama is, like, seriously injured. Like, she's kind of loopy and out of it, and she's just, like, very weakly, like, calling out for Komachio. And Usopp's like, listen, I know, like, I'm sorry, Tama, but, like, we can't right now. Like, I promise we'll come back and we'll get him later. And then at this point, as they're running, Nami manages to turn and see Zeus, like, just coming around the corner. And she's, like, confused as to, like, what he's doing there all alone. And she's like, wait, if he's there, like, who is that other lightning cloud? And we go back to the homies at this point, and they're all kind of, like, celebrating that they did a good job. And Zeus and Prometheus, they're, like, kind of flirting with Hera. And Prometheus is like, oh man, wow, we make such a great team. We never could have done an attack like that with stupid old Zeus. And Napoleon's like, no, yeah, it's because you were so in tune with me, right, Hera? And Hera's like, listen, don't get full of yourselves, you silly little boys. I was only obeying Mama. And Prometheus is like, yeah, you're only here because I asked Mama for a girlfriend, right? And she's just, no, just nope. But yeah, so we do find out what it was that Prometheus asked Big Mom. He asked Big Mom for a girlfriend, because Zeus is so stupid and he can't work well with Zeus, so he asked Big Mom for a girlfriend. And so at this point, we cut to Zeus, and Zeus is like, Prometheus, Napoleon, Mama, like, who is that girl? And he's kind of like crying, and tears are like really, really welling up. We get like that very classic like crying face that happens in One Piece, and he's like just listening to them all like celebrate and like having a good time without him. Like they're saying, like, oh, it's like so nice to have some glamour around. Like, that's right. The three of us together, we're going to be unstoppable. And Zeus is like starting to feel like this abandonment. And he sees Nami and is like, oh man, like it's Nami. And he like calls out to her, and she just completely like turns her head away from him, and he just looks down sad again. And then Big Mom notices Zeus at this point, and it's like, oh, there you are, Zeus. And he's like, oh, Mama, sorry I'm late, looks like we have a new member, we'll be so tough as a foursome now. And Big Mom is just like, no, Zeus, I don't need you anymore. And Prometheus chimes in at this point, is like, you left Mama to die, Zeus. Like, how many times have you screwed up? We're better off without you. And Big Mom instructs Hera to go and eat Zeus, because his soul is going to make Hera stronger. And she is like laughing and saying, oh yes, gladly, Mama. And so Zeus starts like kind of crying again, and he's like, Mama, why would you? And then Hera just starts absolutely just chomping down on Zeus, and it's like, thanks for the meal, Mr. Zeus. And he's crying out. She's like, I'll make her stop. Like, I'm sorry that I always messed up. Like, if you don't want me around, like, I'll just leave. I'll go somewhere else. Like, I'll never bother you. Just please don't kill me. Like, absolutely begging for his life. And Big Mom, this like ugly look on her face, is just like, that would make you nothing but a soul thief, Zeus. Like, if you truly feel sorry for what you've done, then let her eat you and become newfound strength. And Zeus is like still crying and just like calling out to her, just being like, save me, Mama, save me. And Big Mom at this point, Mother Mode, remember, Mother Mode's still active, but this is where it becomes a problem. So everyone who said that it was an actual problem when it happened, no, because this is what it was setting up for the entire time. So she is like, right, Otama, and turns to Usopp and Nami, and then just yoink, just goes ahead and yoinks Tama off of them. And they're like yelling, like, oh no, like Big Mom, and she's like, this is dangerous, Tama, so like, let's put you somewhere else. Like, let's put you somewhere safe. She's like, those people are the Straw Hats, they're a bunch of wicked pirates, so you don't get to go with them, alright? Like, stay away from them. And she's calling out, like, no, Olin, like, don't, they're my friends. And Big Mom starts, like, chasing after Nami and Usopp, and they're just yelling out, like, no, we're done for. And at this point, Zeus ends up, realizing Mama's not going to save him. So he turns to, like, his only other source of salvation here. And he calls out for Nami. And she yells out, like, I'm sorry for trying to kill you earlier. And we get a little bit of a flashback to when they encountered each other earlier and in the arc. And, that point where he's like, I'm sorry, Nami, but die. And he yells out, like, listen, I'm a coward. I couldn't disobey Mama. I was just trying to save myself, so I betrayed you after you were so nice to me. Like, I'm just a sniveling, no good coward. And he's got this, the tears are just flowing. And Nami's like, I don't care. Like, I told you, we're never going to be friends again, after what you did to me. And he yells out, I know that. But now they won't take me back either. Like, I'm all alone in the world. They're just going to kill me. And I don't want to die knowing that everybody hates me. So it's fine if you don't forgive me. Just watch. I'm going to rebel for the first time, the first and last time in my life. At least I can make it up to one person before I die. And Zeus turns black angry cloud mode and starts charging at Big Mom, saying, yelling out, run for safety, Nami. This is how I want to be remembered. And Nami calls out for Zeus. Big Mom snatches up Zeus and just immediately starts draining the soul out of him. It's like, oh, out of energy already, are we? And they, like, call out, like, what's going on? And you see Zeus, the soul is literally leaving his body. And Nami yells out, like, she's sucking out his soul. Like, man, you really are useless. And Big Mom takes the, like, basically, like, ruined body of Zeus at this point and just tosses him to Hera and is like, eat up. And Nami swings her climb attack and says, fine, one last gift of black balls, Zeus. Like, eat these and make your getaway. And the black balls just go flying right past Zeus. He's basically comatose at this point. They're like, it's no good, he lost his soul. He lost what's left of his soul, and he won't eat his favorite snack. And Hera chomps down on Zeus, says, thanks for the meal, Mr. Zeus, and that is it. But we'll come back and talk about this. This panel specifically, I think, is a little bit important. We'll see. But, so anyway, she starts going like, the power's rippling through me, and they're all shocked that she ate him. And Tama at this point has managed to, like, make a breakaway from Big Mom and catches back up with Usopp and Nami and is like, Usohachi, Onami, like, we gotta run, we gotta get out of here. And they're like, Tama, and she's like, come on, like, let's hurry, let's just get out of here. But Big Mom notices and is like, Tama, why are you running away from me? I hate it when people leave me. It means that I have to kill them. And so they're screaming, they're running, they're trying to get away. Big Mom's coming in with Napoleon, and then all of a sudden, a big metal arm reaches out, stops Big Mom's attack right in its tracks, and then the metal arm grabs Big Mom's face, and Punk Gibson slammed Big Mom down. This is my boy, man. All these feats, everybody in the community that's been like I mean, I've been on the defending Kid and Killer train forever. Like, I was always like, listen, man, like, Killer deserves to be on the rooftop. I think the Kid has even feats, right? But the fact that he was, one, able to absolutely just stop Big Mom's attack in her tracks, and then two, grab Big Mom, slam and pin her to the ground with his attack. This is what we need out of Kid, and I'm very, very excited to see what comes next. But all the Beast Pirates are, like, freaking out. They're like, what? Big Mom, like, what happened? And then Big Mom, like, slowly gets up and is like, Kid. And then Kid's just standing there, facing down Big Mom all by himself, and he's like, get lost, Straw Hats, she's mine. And they call out, like, Captain Kid, like, oh my god, everyone's reacting to Kid being there. So we cut away from all this at this point. These are the last 2 pages of the chapter. I'm not going to talk about them because there's a lot that needs to be said, but instead we're going to start going into, like, kind of the review portion for this last bit. But so much happens here. Now, before I get into talking about the review, I do want to talk about the chapter as a whole. And I know that I haven't finished with these last 2 pages, but when I read this chapter when it came out, I was like, man, literally, like, all the theories for what is going to happen, like, everything that people have been theorizing as a given for a long time, it's like, it's done now. Like, this was like a theory buster of a chapter, because it was like, I mean, I don't want to spoil what happens at the end of the chapter because we're talking about this, but, like, you know, Zeus gets killed. Everyone's been, like, theorizing that Nami's going to get Zeus as, like, a major power-up in Wano, but then Zeus ends up just getting his soul sucked out of him and fed to Hera, and then, like, everyone thought that, like, Page 1 and Usopp was happening, and, you know, even I, in my last chapter review, was like, Page 1 is not done. Like, I don't think Page 1 is done. Page 1 and Usopp is still happening. You know, Nami and Ulti are going to be happening. You know, they set up that fight in the last chapter, and I was super excited. I was like, yes, Nami and Ulti, like, I want to see this. I went off about how I want to see the Coward Trio in Wano get, like, good fights, about how I wanted Chopper to fight Queen, and I wanted Usopp to fight Page 1, and Nami to fight Ulti, and for them to have good, like, prolonged fights. But now, like, I don't know what's happening, man, because, like, Ulti just got, like, wiped out by that Maser Cannon attack, but I do think that there is hope. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen fight-wise, but, you know, just going back to the beginning of the chapter, right, with everything with Nami and Ulti, I really liked what little of the fight that we did get to see from Nami and Ulti. I thought that it was really, really cool. I really liked seeing the upgraded tornado tempo. I feel like Oda is kind of trying to set something up with, like, these devastating finishers that that Nami's pulling out, like, because, as I said, you know, like, we saw the Thunderlands tempo, we saw the tornado tempo, like, we haven't seen these attacks in a long time, and these were also the attacks that Nami used to finish her fights with like, her one-on-one opponent in the specific arcs that they were brought out in. So, I think that this is maybe foreshadowing a brand new move, maybe using that secret item from Nami. I do think, and I literally have no clue who it is going to be, but I do think that Nami is going to get a one-on-one fight, and I don't know if it's going to be with Ulti, and I don't know who else it could be, but I think that Oda has been setting up a one-on-one with Nami, because in her first one-on-one against Miss Doublefinger, the finisher was Tornado Tempo. In her second one-on-one against Khalifa, the finisher was the Thunderlands Tempo. So we went from seeing her the Thunderlands Tempo first, and now the Tornado Tempo. So I feel like there's going to be a one-on-one. Like, it's counting down to a new move. And I feel like that new move is going to be busted out at some point. But I don't know when we are going to see it. Now, the whole thing with Zeus, right? Or, well, first off, let's talk about the combo attack, the Maser Cannon. First off, the attack is awesome. Like, it looked really, really cool. I like the idea, because at this point, like, Big Mom has just been fighting by herself, you know, like, using her haki, using her natural resistance and strength. And I feel like with a devil fruit as cool as Big Mom's, like, there's so much more that you can do there, and I am glad to see her utilizing her fruit and her homies, like the byproduct of her fruit, in an interesting manner like this, especially the combo. Like, it's so cool to see that she's now able to utilize combo attacks with, like, the 3 big homies that she has. But it did kind of suck, because it does mean that possibly we are now not going to see Ulti and Nami, which I do think that Ulti and Page 1 got absolutely shafted here, because I really like Ulti. Page 1, like, hasn't really had a chance to, like, grow on us. I mean, Ulti is kind of trash for what she did to Tama, but I did think that she was interesting as a character, and I was really looking forward to seeing her in action. I mean, this was someone who made Luffy go from the jump gear 4th. So, I mean, that's gotta be, there's more to her that we are not seeing because of this whole Big Mom stuff. But in terms of the whole Zeus thing, I just gotta say, man, like, Oda is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The fact that he could make me feel the way that I feel about a cloud. Like, it was so upsetting. It was so sad. Like, seeing him with the ugly cry and his just wanting to go back and belong somewhere. Like, Zeus for Straw Hat, man. What a tragic fucking backstory, bro. Like, and it sucked, man. Dude, that sucked. I really, I did say we were going to come back to this panel. That panel of when Hera devours Zeus. Because I really don't think, and this isn't a new take or anything, I don't think that Zeus is gone. Because when Hera chomps down on Zeus, the Climattact is in Hera's mouth. So, Nami could have possibly sucked Zeus back into the Climattact. And he won't be as strong, but he might still be alive. With what little soul energy he still has. But yeah, so the whole Zeus thing. God, what a great writer to make me feel that way. Like, it was devastating. It was devastating to see him die, you know? Like, and I did want to say again about the mother mode thing. And I know that I really keep hammering this home, but this is exactly what I said about mother mode when it happened. How I was very upset about it. And then I stopped and I thought, and I was like, no, you know what? It makes sense. It's Big Mom. She's super unpredictable. Because this whole thing with her mother mode, right? She's got mother mode, but she's like crazy. And she marches to the beat of her own drum. Because as soon as Tama turns her back on her and runs to the Straw Hats, she's like, oh, all right, well, gotta kill you. Like, she has no problem. She has literally no problem killing a kid if it suits her own agenda. So that's... And I do think that maybe I was talking about how, something could possibly happen where there's like a Tama death fake out. I do think that this whole thing with Big Mom being pissed at Tama, like, I feel like that's kind of a death flag. But like, once again, I really don't see Oda actually like really truly killing Tama. So like the death flag, take it with a grain of salt, because I think that we still might be getting a fake out. And I think that this death flag just kind of like lends credence to that. But yes. So, last thing, Kid. Dude, I am so stoked for Kid versus Big Mom. I am literally so stoked for it. And I think, importantly, that it's just going to be the two of them. I really, really do. Because originally I thought that it was going to be Kid and Law versus Big Mom. I don't think that Law's showing up. And if he does, I will be glad to take that L, because I don't care. Like, that fight with the two of them, or that fight with just Kid and Big Mom. Either way, that's going to be a good fight, and it's going to lead to development for the characters that are involved. But when we last saw Law, he was literally hot on the heels of Zeus. And Zeus showed up before Kid did, and Law did not show up by the end of this chapter. So, I think that Law got waylaid on the way there. I don't know what would have waylaid him. I'm hoping it might be CP0. But who knows at this point? You know, we will find out when we find out. But I am theorizing that Law will not be a part of that fight. It's just going to be Kid versus Big Mom. Now, let's finish the chapter. Because we fade away to the rooftop skull dome, which I was not expecting to be back here that fast. But we see Kaido, and Kaido is like, the outcome was obvious. You know, you gained a powerful weapon and you let it go to your head, boy. It's like, human beings don't give up hope. No, they can't give up hope. That's the problem. And Kaido, he's got his head in his hands. He's huffing and puffing, man. So whatever happened up here took a little bit out of him. And he goes, it's been a long time since I got worked up like this. You know, I failed. I should have simply cut your head off and announced my victory to everyone. And then the final panel of the chapter, Kaido says, because now they'll keep believing that you're going to win, won't they? And we see Onigashima, the way this panel is framed, it's awesome. We see Onigashima floating up in the sky, and we see Luffy. Eyes are white, he is knocked unconscious, and he has fallen off of Onigashima. He has fallen completely off of the island. So, what does this mean? I don't think this is the tragedy, but I will tell you what it does mean. It means that this is water Luffy. This is not blood Luffy, this is water Luffy. I know that a lot of people, specifically Randy Troy, shout out Randy Troy, he's been trying to figure out for a while whether this fight with Kaido, with Luffy and Kankurosaki, is Water Luffy or Blood Luffy, calling back to Alabasta again. Which I think it is important to note that we saw the Tornado Tempo, a move which was last used in Alabasta. I think that it's important to use that for framing and reference here. Because in Alabasta, Luffy is destroyed by Crocodile outside of Rain Base. Luffy is destroyed by Crocodile in Alubarna. And Luffy wins against Crocodile in the graveyard in front of the Poneglyph under the ground. So, was it Water Luffy or was it Blood Luffy? Was it the second time that Luffy fought Crocodile, realizing that he had a way to fight him with water? Or is it Blood Luffy, where he finally figured out everything that he needed to destroy Crocodile? It's Water Luffy. Because this happens a lot. It happens so often. And you can go back to multiple arcs. And this is a thing that people say about Luffy all the time. That Luffy's Devil Fruit is indicative of the type of person he is. And this is the setup and the framing that Oda uses all the time. Because Luffy is rubber. And what do we know about rubber? As Luffy has stated before, rubber always bounces back. So, Luffy is gone. Luffy is out of the picture. I will be 100% shocked if within the next couple of chapters we see Luffy again. I think that Luffy is out of this arc for a little bit because that is what Oda does. Perfect example is Dressrosa when he gets knocked off of the sunflower field. You know, we have to now go through a period of time where everyone else has to rally and Luffy himself has to rally to get himself back up to then take down the bad guy for the final time. And so what do I think is going to happen? How do I think this is going to be solved? One, I do not think that he is going to fall in the water. I do not. I think by this point we are probably... I think that Oda specifically had Big Mom almost fall in the water so that he could fake us out here. I think that we are over Wano. I think that it is important that we are over Wano because then, as people have been saying forever, Luffy does not take down the oppressor unless the oppressed are there to witness it. That's it. Like, that's Doflamingo and Dressrosa. That's the prime example. I don't think that Kaido is going down unless the people of Wano know that Luffy is doing it. So, I think that Luffy will fall into Wano, and I think that the citizens of the Flower Capital will have to figure out, or will learn what's going on, learn that the raid is real, because we know that there have been rumors that the raid is real, and that the people in the Flower Capital are like silently hoping and keeping it inside, and they're partying, hoping that if the raid on Onigashima is real, that it succeeds and they are liberated. So, they will learn that it is real. They will help Luffy get back. Luffy will take down Kaido in front of everybody, and Wano will be liberated. But, in the meantime, remember Yamato is going to the roof. And what did I say at the end of last chapter? I thought that this chapter, Yamato was going to get to the roof. It was going to spark Kaido's flashback. We are not getting out of Wano without a Kaido flashback. We're not. It happens with every villain, pretty much. Pretty much every villain post-time skip has, in the New World era, has had their backstory revealed. We got it with Caesar a little bit, not a whole lot with Caesar. We got it with Doflamingo. We got it with Big Mom. So we're getting it with Kaido. We are getting it with Kaido. So I think what is going to happen is Yamato is going to get to the roof. We're going to get a little fight between Yamato and Kaido. We're going to finally find out what Yamato's devil fruit is, because Yamato definitely has a devil fruit. We've already seen that transformation. And then we're getting the Kaido flashback. Because as I said, the Kaido flashback is going to double as the Yamato flashback. Tragic backstory Yamato for Straw Hat. So, yeah. That's what's going to happen. Everyone else is going to keep fighting. Maybe, just maybe, they will find out that Luffy failed, and that'll definitely be the end of Act 3. But yeah, I think Act 3 is probably going to end soon. once again, I'm tired of saying it at this point, so I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing it. But, either this chapter or next chapter is going to be the chapter that ends volume 100. So, of course, Oda is going to leave us on a big cliffhanger. But I do think that maybe, in the next chapter, don't hold me to this, because I do still think there's a lot of stuff we have to check in on. Act 3 will end. Or we will start next chapter with Act 3 ending, and we'll get that kind of interim act break where we check in with like the rest of the world. But I think that in order for Act 3 to end, Yamato has to get to the roof. So my personal take is that Act 3 is going to go on for a little bit longer because we have to get Yamato up to the roof to face down with Kaido before Act 3 ends. But once that happens, it will. And I want to address a very popular theory, which kind of contradicts my theory, which is that Momo will use his Devil Fruit ability to fly Luffy back up to fight Kaido. That is not going to happen for one reason and one reason alone. Momonosuke is going to hold up Onigashima. He is going to do it because he needs to have his Hour of Legend. Like, he needs to have that parallel with his father. Back when Kaido first, when the first raid failed, Odin held basically the entirety of Wano on his shoulders in that boiling pot. So, what is going to happen? Momonosuke is going to theoretically hold the entirety of Wano on his shoulders because he's going to use his clouds to... I don't know if it's going to be a full safety thing. Like, I do kind of still think that Onigashima is coming down. But I don't know. But I do think that definitely Momonosuke is going to stop the Flower Capital from being destroyed by holding up the island just long enough that maybe the citizens of Wano can evacuate. And he'll be able to save Wano by theoretically holding Wano on his back, on his shoulders. Just like Odin did, mirroring the Hour of Legend. So, yeah. That being said, I really, really liked this chapter. I felt so enticed by this chapter reading it because, like I said, it was like a theory buster. Like, everything I thought was going to happen just kind of went out the window. And, like, that was kind of exhilarating because I then had to go back to the drawing board and be like, what is going to happen? Like, what's going on now? Like, all this stuff that I thought was set up, is it still set up? Is it going to happen this way? But, yeah. It was really, really interesting. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it. If you liked the video, go ahead and like. And if you like these reviews, go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, really interesting chapter. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I love you all. And I will see you guys in chapter 1014. Bye-bye.